I'm just gonna have a little sip of this because I'm gonna need it. Oh, that is sweet. Can I just say, I have the best boyfriend ever. He went and bought me this because he knew I was about to film. Hi everyone, so today we have the first favourites video of the year. I felt like continuing in the tradition of my January favourites, which usually end up being the biggest massive videos ever. I feel like the end of January is a good time to sit down and just chat about a lot of things. So my bed is covered in stuff. I have things like lifestyle favourites, I have book favourites, fashion favourites, an entire bag of beauty favourites. This is kind of like a roundup of everything. And let's just get into it. So I really don't know where to start. I think I'm going to start with, should I just do this big bag of beauty stuff and get it out of the way? Actually, I'm going to hold out. I'm going to start with book favourites because I know you guys like it when I talk about books, and I love reading. It's one of my favourite things to do. Very shamefully, I haven't read a single fiction book yet this year, and I'm definitely more of a fiction girl than a non-fiction, but I do have 2 books here, 2 non-fictions that I really enjoyed reading this month. The first one is The Little Book of Hygge. I know you guys are probably sick of seeing things about Hygge, but I love it. I think it's such a cool idea. So I really like this. I love the whole idea of being very cozy and happy within yourself and just making your whole home a nice environment to be in. I'm all about that life, so this little book is really nice. It actually really relaxes me. I sort of read this around bedtime, just a few chapters, and it kind of gets me very chilled. The second book I have that I can't believe it's taken me this long to actually get and read is Flume by Estée Lalonde. I love Estée. She's always been one of my favourite people to watch here on YouTube, and I've loved seeing her evolve in terms of her style and the type of content that she puts out, and just basically seeing somebody grow up on YouTube I think is an amazing thing to be able to do. I feel like this book totally encapsulates all of that. I love the way she's written this. I really love the style of it. It's also just a beautiful book. Everything is so aesthetically pleasing, which is pretty much like Estée's life, and I love it. There's some really good messages in here, some really great things. So this book is not only beautiful but just a really great read, and I highly recommend that everybody read it. I thought I would quickly mention as well the books that I'm planning on reading in the coming months, so in February, and maybe you guys can hold me to this in my next favourites video. I have a whole entire list of to be read books. It's actually taking up most of my shelf here on my bedside table, but these are 3 that I've picked out that I'm definitely going to try and get through this month. The first one is Before We Were Strangers by Renée, Carlino. I love the cover of this. I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I definitely do. So I've got that one to read. I have The Immortals by Estée. This sounds like a really interesting story, so I'm excited to get into that one. And then the final one is Nocturnal Animals by Wright, with the very classy Tesco's 2 for £7 sticker still on it. I'm so desperate to see the film version of this, which Tom Ford has directed, and I loved his first movie that he did, so it's going to be a good one I think. But I want to read the book first. I always try and do that. So those are on my to be read pile for this month. I wanted to talk about some of my favourite TV shows. Actually, I think there's only one TV show that I thought definitely deserved a mention in this month's favourites, and I don't have anything to show you, but I'm going to pop up a picture on the screen here, and it's the Netflix original series, The OA. If you do explain what it's about, it kind of ruins it for you, so I'm not going to give away any spoilers or too much information. I didn't know if I loved the first episode, but I was definitely kind of hooked by the story, and I kept on going, and it definitely evolves. So the first episode you watch, it just turns into something completely different. In the middle, it's a little bit slower, but I was really invested in everything and the characters and the storyline by then, so I kept going. And at the end, especially the final episode, it's just like a punch in the face. Everything changes, and I feel like some people are very conflicted. So some of you either loved the last episode or some of you hated it. It just got me. The final 10 minutes of the last episode, just tears and full kind of body sobs, which I haven't ever really experienced when watching a TV show before, except probably when Ross and Rachel broke up for the first time in Friends. But I highly recommend it. I feel like if you enjoyed Stranger Things, you will like The OA. There's very similar themes. In fact, I'd love to see someone do a video comparing the two, because a lot of the same things that happen in Stranger Things, you can kind of see how they happen in The OA, but I'd say The OA is more of a kind of deep, more profound version of Stranger Things, but I really loved it. I think you should definitely try it and definitely stick around, because it's just worth it watching the last episode. So I love The OA this month. There's also a film that I also fell in love with this month that I have to mention. You've probably seen me talk about it way too much on social media, and it's La La Land. I was really excited to see it, and I do like musicals, But again, I sobbed the whole way through. In fact, there's a point where it's so heart-wrenching that I literally made like an audible sound. I've gone back 3 times now and I just love it. I think it's become my favourite movie ever. I love the story, I love the characters, and I love the songs. So that's been kind of the music that I've been listening to all month. I feel like my Spotify has just been permanently on repeat for the soundtrack. It's all I've been playing, just round and round and round. I've probably got through it at least 25 times now. I also have an album here that I quickly wanted to show you that I'm also really into. This is Skin by Flume. And I also have the vinyl, which is super cool because look at this. It's clear. I think it's clear, or like frosted with a little pink sticker in the middle. How beautiful is this? It's definitely quite poppy, but it's a really lovely kind of dreamy sound. And I just love putting this on my record player and just leaving it on in the background because I love all the songs. The music is really beautiful. So this has been one of my favourite albums as well. Obviously La La Land is definitely at the top though. Okay, let's move on to beauty favourites because, oh my god, I can't explain to you how much stuff is in this bag. This is a mask from Peter Thomas Roth. It's the pumpkin enzyme mask. I've only used this a few times, but I kind of like to use masks less often, maybe like once a week. So this has been my go-to mask at the moment. So beautifully exfoliating, but very gentle as well. It uses pumpkin enzyme, which is actually one of the active ingredients in the Oskia Renaissance cleansing gel, which is one of my all-time favourite skincare products. So I knew I would like this, and I do. It's super brightening. It's kind of like a scrub as well, so you kind of scrub it in, massage it in, and then leave it, and it just leaves my skin so soft and so bright. So I've really been enjoying using this one. This is quite a big deal because I'm a massive rose jam lover. It will still hold a place in my heart, definitely, but it's so hard to get hold of that when you run out of it halfway through the year and have to wait till Christmas. It's a little bit heartbreaking, although I do have quite a few bottles stashed away now. But I thought I would try something different, and I bought this one, which is called It's Raining Men. This is, I think, the 2nd or 3rd bottle of this that I've been through now, and this just smells incredible. It basically smells like honey, a bit vanilla-y, very sweet, but it's also quite creamy too, so I feel like this one is a bit more moisturising than rose jam. So I love this, I really love the smell of it, and this is my kind of go-to shower gel every day. So I have a few Bobbi Brown products to talk about. This one is a total throwback. This is the Hydrating Eye Cream. I used to use this all the time, and I think I ran out of it maybe sometime last year and I stopped using it, but I thought I'd repurchase one, and I realised why I loved it so much because it is just the best, really lightweight but super hydrating eye cream. My skin really just sucks all this up because it is so moisturising, and I need it because my skin is quite dry, but it's beautiful. It helps makeup go on so well. It doesn't crease with concealer and things like that. So it's just an amazing eye cream. I love that from Bobbi Brown. And then I also picked up something new, which I haven't tried before, and it's the Vitamin Enriched Face Base. This has got shea butter in it, so it's a very intense, heavy duty product. In fact, you can see how little of this I've used. I've been using it pretty much all month, and I barely scratched the surface. It's a very hard, very thick product, so I've been using this kind of like a priming base. I still put moisturiser on and then let it sink in for a little bit, but then I will reach for this and I almost sort of dab my beauty blender in there and just sort of buff it into my skin like that, and I really love the way this feels. Another new skincare product I've been trying recently is from Sunday Riley, and they've just released a new oil. I think they have 4 or 5 of these now. I've only tried about 3 of them, but I really love every single one. And this is U.F.O, so it's slightly different. It's an ultra clarifying face oil, which I loved the idea of. I think oils are definitely for everyone. If you have super dry skin, if you have really oily skin, I think everybody should use them and can use them. So this one is going to be great if you do get quite oily skin and blocked pores, acne prone skin as well. This is going to be great for. I personally use this kind of on my T-zone, so on my chin, my nose, and also a little bit on my forehead sometimes, because although the skin on my face is super dry and very dehydrated, I do sometimes notice that I get blocked pores around here and just in little places. So I've sort of been using this sporadically where I need it, and it has salicylic acid in it, so it really clears out pores, but it is still so hydrating because it is an oil, so it doesn't dry my skin out, which is amazing. So I've been really into this. I think it's a really great little product. I also have the mini version too, which is super cute. Okay, we've gotten down to the layer of makeup, so let's pull out a few makeup things. I have 2 mascaras from L'Oreal to talk about. You guys know how much I adore this one. This is the Volume Million Lashes So Couture. So I've kind of been making my way through the Volume Million range, and there's definitely enough in that range. There's so many different kinds. This is the one that I got recently. It's the Volume Million Lashes Feline. So it's the one in the green tube, and it has a curved brush. So very similar to the So Couture version, but it's just slightly curved. There's just something about this range of mascaras that I really, really enjoy. I like how separating they are, but they're still very buildable as well, so you can get a lot of volume, which is what I love for mascara. Okay, let's talk about a few base products. I actually did a live stream on Instagram for the first time ever yesterday, and I really enjoyed it. It was actually quite fun. Very difficult to talk, put makeup on, and also read your questions as well, but I thought it was really great to be able to chat to you that way and just be super live with no editing and no cutting out. So yeah, let me know if you'd like to see more of those. My Instagram is @ICovetThee, so follow me there and you'll be able to see all my live streams as and when they happen. But I was using this and I was actually saying how much I've been loving this foundation. This is the Chanel Vitalumia Aqua, and I repurchased this sometime around November, I think it was. Probably talked about it in a few favourites videos since then, but I just am re-obsessed with this. I feel like I was obsessed with it when I first got it, which was when I was living in my very first flat, which was a long time ago. But totally back on the bandwagon, totally back in love with this. There's just something about this foundation that makes your skin look amazing, and you don't have to use barely any of it. It does something that makes you look super fresh and super healthy and just really amazing. So this foundation is just the winner for me. I also have another rediscovery or repurchase from back in the day. You guys will also remember this one if you've been here for a long time. This is the Clarins Duo Bronzer in Light, number 1. I've been having a bit of a Clarins moment as well recently. I went in and just went a bit crazy on the counter. If you have pale skin, this is the bronzer for you. It's such an amazing shade. It also comes in a whole range of shades too, so any skin tone can use this. It just looks so beautiful, it blends so well, it's super matte and looks totally natural. So I mean, I can't sing the praises of this bronzer enough. I just absolutely love it. Okay, we're getting there, guys. I'm nearly at the bottom of this bag. I have 2 last makeup products here. These are fun ones. So these are quite new actually. I think they've just come out and they're from Estée. I really like Estée as a brand, but every so often they'll just bring something out that is amazing, that just really wows me. And these are definitely one of those kind of launches. They're the Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadows. So I have the shades Bronze Belle and Kitten Karma. Kitten Karma is definitely my favourite. The Estée Kitten eyeshadow and all the variations of it is always my go-to. I really love it. So these are kind of like cream eyeshadows in a lip gloss tube, so they've got a little doe foot applicator, really easy to use. But I would literally say these are just compacted glitter. I mean, they are just glitter. There's no other way to describe them. You can really get an incredible kind of foil effect with these if you layer them properly, or you can blend them out to just be kind of glittery but a bit more sparse, and they're such beautiful colours. I was actually wearing this in my Paris vlog when I did my makeup a bit fancy and I was going out, and a lot of you guys asked me what glitter I had on, so it was this. Oh, okay, I needed that. I have a few style favourites from the month. I've been such a lover of sock boots in general recently. I have about 4 pairs of them, but these are undoubtedly my favourites. So sock boots, if you haven't really heard of them, are basically your standard kind of boot, black boots, any kind of colour boot, but the top of them is a little bit more socky. Great explanation there, Alex. It's just a little bit more of a flimsy leather. So they kind of imitate socks in that they're quite tight to your ankles, and I didn't at first think that was going to be very flattering, but actually they are super flattering, whether you wear them with bare legs and dresses and skirts, or if you're wearing them over the top of jeans with them kind of tucked in. They just work so well with so many different outfits. I really love them. So these are actually from River Island, who I found do the best sock boots. I have quite a few pairs from them, but these I think are just perfect. They have the perfect heel and they're just the right length as well, so they kind of come up quite high, but not super high and not super short as well. So I think they're just the perfect pair of black boots, and I love these. I've been wearing them non-stop at the moment. I'm definitely going to be taking these on a very special trip with me soon. I'm actually going to New York next week, which I'm still not even over. It's not processed properly in my brain. I'm going to New York for Fashion Week, so that's my dream come true. but these are definitely going to be coming with me. I think they're so chic and so cool. And I just love a black boot. Who doesn't love a black boot? So kind of my ultimate uniform at the moment is those boots with a pair of black skinny jeans and then a stripy top. I'm back into stripes. It was bound to happen sometime soon. This one is actually a really beautiful jumper. It's cashmere, so it's super, super soft, really good quality, and it just fits so nicely. It's kind of the perfect loose and slouchy but not oversized jumper, and this is actually just from ASOS. It's one of their kind of more premium items, I think, but definitely worth the money because I love this and I have worn it so much. I actually haven't washed it yet, which is a little bit gross, but jumpers, I feel like jumpers are fine if you wear them a few times. I've also got to talk about this, my beautiful baby. This is not that old. This is still quite new to me. Although I bought it back in December, I've only just really started wearing it in the last couple of weeks. So this is my Chloé Drew. I knew I would love this kind of embellished gold hardware, but I can't explain to you how much I actually love it. It's so beautiful. It's such an easy to wear bag. You can wear it with so many different things. You can wear it on your shoulder, you can wear it across body, and it also carries so much. This is actually the size down from the small. They've kind of named their bags really strangely. I think this is actually the mini. They do the nano, the mini and the small, although the small is the biggest one, I think. So the sizing is just very confusing, but it still fits so much in. I can get my phone in here, cameras, passport, wallet, purse, card holder, all sorts of things, and it's kind of just like a bottomless pit. It's a bit of a Mary Poppins bag, which I love. So this is just my ultimate style favourite from the month. I'm obsessed with it. You guys have probably seen it already all over my Instagram. So something I really wanted to talk about in this video is actually something quite new to me that I've been doing recently, and that is my Fitbit. So you guys might have seen me wearing this in quite a few videos. I usually have it on my wrist here, this little purple band, but this is actually a Fitbit. So inside this wristband, I'm going to take it out and show you because it's so cute, is this tiny little thing, and this basically does a whole lot of stuff. So I got this at the start of January and I have worn it every single day, and it's just so interesting to me to not only see how many steps I'm doing, how much exercise I'm having and how active I am, but also my sleeping pattern. And this is one of the reasons that I actually bought this in the first place. I am not a good sleeper. I really don't sleep well. I find it really hard to drift off. I wouldn't say I have insomnia because that's a very extreme thing, but yeah, I just find it so hard to sleep. I stay up way too late, or if I do go to bed early, I'm just sort of lying in bed for hours and hours not being able to sleep. And I also feel like my sleep gets quite interrupted. I wake up a lot in the night and I'm very restless, so I thought it'd be really interesting to track my sleep. And there are definitely apps that you can get just to do this on your phone, but I really wanted something that I could wear. So I've been using this for the whole month now and I found it really interesting and I've learnt a lot. For instance, the very first night I wore this, apparently I got up in the middle of the night and was awake for 10 minutes just walking around, so that's kind of interesting because I was not aware that I did that. Yeah, but I've been trying to kind of ease into a better sleeping pattern with this, so it also sends alerts to you when you need to go to bed. This is in no way sponsored, by the way. I've just realised that I'm really kind of chatting about this like it is sponsored, but I bought this myself on a whim because I wanted to, just to make that clear. Yeah, so I feel like I've gotten into a better sleeping pattern now. I try and get about 8 to 9 hours every day, and I also try and go to bed at the same time. So it really kind of shows you when you're sleeping, when you're not, what time you should be going to bed, and it just does so much. I've really just kind of scratched the surface on what you can do with this. One of my favourite things as well is the alarm on this. So you can actually set an alarm so that it vibrates while it's on your wrist, and I am so bad at switching off my alarm and putting on snooze and basically just not even hearing it sometimes when it goes off, but this really kind of violently vibrates on your wrist and it actually kind of gets me up really quick. So for me, this is definitely something that I've used a lot to help me with sleep. I'm not a massive exerciser, although I'm trying to get more into it, so I've been on a few runs and things like that this month, and it's kind of interesting to see your pace and tracking where you've been, and how much energy you've used and calories you've burnt. So I think there's just a multitude of things this can do, but for me, I've been really enjoying looking at my sleeping patterns. Is that a bit weird? I think it's going to be so useful and it's really helped me out already. So I highly recommend this if you're into your kind of gadgety, wearable tech kind of things and you like to track stuff. Definitely have a look into these because this is the very basic version. There's quite a few others, but it's not super expensive. So I've been really loving this. And that is my massive January roundup. I can't believe I made it through that. I hope you guys made it. Let me know if you did. Comment me some pink emojis, seeing as I'm very into pink right now. Happy February to you, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.